Hello everyone, welcome back to Paula's Imperfect Plans. This is Paula on my channel. I share my personal planning and budgeting journeys as the sole planner and budgeter in my household. We have a 2-income household. We are a family of 5 living in the Midwest. Us adults are in our mid-30s and I'm working real hard on getting my life together. So, today I'm doing like our week check-in. So we're halfway through a pay period, got paid last Friday the 16th. Today is Friday the 23rd. And so I'm going through this. I have it written as an expense tracker, but really it's an entire transaction log because it does have everything that goes into and out of my account as I put cash back in to offset like cash expenses that I cash pull for that we use the card for. So I'll kind of explain all the transactions as we go through. Then I'm going to do some math on just seeing where we are at in some of our categories, because I know we're over budget on some because I'm terrible at budgeting for some of these kids' expenses. And then I'm going to go through quickly through our cash envelopes and see if I need to pull any additional things in the bank thing or reallocate any of that cash. So starting last week, there's our 2 paydays. We had flex money come in to cover a dental bill. So then that dental bill went back out, categorize that as medical. There are 2 extra eating out expenses so far, and neither one are mine, which makes me super proud. My husband recently started donating plasma. He has gone twice. The first time I made him stop on the way to donate plasma to get something to eat. So we stopped at Casey's because he hadn't eaten for the majority of the day because he went after work. And then there's one down here that he went last Sunday, and he just, where we donate plasma is really close to like one of his favorite Chinese restaurants. So he's like, honestly, that first time his blood pressure and iron were too high, so he couldn't donate. So actually he had to do the physical that Sunday, and he thought he was gonna be home in time for lunch and he wasn't. Anyway, so he got Chinese food. So the next 2 things they add up to a little bit over 20, but my other spending things are a little under 20 or under whatever. So my total spending amount is 60 that I give myself in cash. The first 2 I had spent before I took the cash out. So I think I was just down in the area of like the bigger city where we donate plasma. I stopped at Walmart to get some new tongue rings, and I grabbed myself a treat at Culver's. So that was just a little bit over 20, but I only took out 40 of my spending cash, and then down here my spending was less than 40. So overall I spent less than my 60. This $37.50 was Walmart household items. Came in a couple bucks under budget. That's what I deposited back in from our daycare sinking fund to cover our daycare overage since it's summer daycare and I have all 3 kids there. That's what I pulled in from our car gas sinking fund. That was our plasma deposit. My plasma deposit, that goes back out to the pre-K tuition sinking fund from the plasma. That's our HELOC payment. This is our money to our church, Netflix, Amazon, daycare for the next 2 weeks, car registration in a sinking fund, saving up for until September when our next registrations are due. This is our bill for car gas. We buy gas in bulk, so I pulled in from the sinking fund and this went out to the company. This is everything I pulled out in cash envelopes for that pay period. Sinking funds of 50 for Christmas, 50 towards LP, and 50 towards car repairs. Those all got transferred. Those are all in a high yield savings account. This deposit is our dependent care flex. This will be the last one of those. We're not doing it starting July 1. Target order of pull-ups, which is I classify as a household expense, was $34.99. Our cell phone bill, it was a little under $200 actually, but I'll adjust that later. I had to write it down because I needed to know that I needed to plan for $200 for it. So that was actually like $196.07. So I need to adjust that at the end of the log. So I did share that I bought a mattress for my daughter. We got a free bunk bed that met all my bunk bed specifications that I wanted for my daughters who share a room. They are 3 and 4. I had bought the 4-year-old a mattress for her, I think her 4th birthday. And so her mattress just went in there. I needed to buy a mattress for the littlest one. So this $27.51 was leftover money from between this household expense and what I budgeted, and this expense for pull-ups and what I budgeted that I put towards the bed that I purchased and put on the card from Amazon. So that's the first part of that. This is spending. I ordered 2 different orders from Etsy totaling $37.60. And so I put 40 back in, which covered how much this was over. More than that, actually. So more money went back in than what 60 went back in, and only like 57 got spent out of my spending. That money just goes into my buffer. This shows this is me depositing my 40 spending cash back in. We got Casey's Pizza one night. It was $28. The way I made change, it ends up being like $29, just because I think 31 is left in the envelope because of how many ones I had. But so this was me putting eating out cash in, as well as some reselling cash. That's what that deposit was. This is another $12. This is $12 that I got from reselling that I put in, and then I put it on the bed. That was the plasma. This is an extra expense. My husband needed new headphones. He doesn't do the earbuds. He does the over-the-ear headphones. He realized he needed new ones when it was time to donate plasma. So that was a miscellaneous expense of his that I highlighted that way from Amazon. This was under kids. I ordered a mattress protector to go with that twin-size mattress. Categorize that as kids. Green is kids. This $35.09 was money from reselling, like in cash, plus reselling from Mercari. So you see the deposit there. It's $5 in cash and $30.09 from Mercari. That all went on this mattress. On the credit card to cover the Amazon mattress, I zeroed out here. I'm taking my balance down to 100, so I put $10.94 into our emergency fund. I put another $25 in. I had budgeted, for anyone who watched, I had budgeted $60 for my son to go to a theme park with his friend. His friend's parents refused to, take the cash, said they had it, so I had $60 back into my budget. 25 of that I allocated to cover the last $24.90 that I owed on the mattress that I purchased on Amazon, to pay the credit card back for that. So 25 of it went to that. I took $20 out of beauty spending to cover an e.l.f. order of face wash and facial moisturizer. And then this was another miscellaneous purchase from my husband. So a lot more spending from him than me. This was at the locker. We took 2 of our animals into the locker the other day, and he took my son along and purchased, I think, beef sticks and a couple things of like ring bologna that my daughters have been asking for from the locker. So that was $25.30. So I'm going to do some math on these expenses. I'll probably fast forward you through some of the actual math doing, because that's boring for everyone. I don't even think I have a medical category on here. So extra eating out so far, and I'm using my erasable pen because I know that this is subject to change. We do still have 1 week left of the pay period. 854 plus 1387 is 2241 in extra eating out. Household is $37.50 plus $34.99, which is $72.49. Car gas is $8.83. $74. Our only giving expense, I think, is the $200 to our church so far. So $200. Medical was $177 for my dental bill. His miscellaneous purchases so far are the locker plus the headphones, which is $57.35. I have no miscellaneous purchases so far. I have no work meal so far, but I'm not even going to put the 0 there because I do know that there will be one of those this week. We have a team meeting, and so we will go out to eat one day this week. All right, for kids so far, I have 112.01, which is the mattress plus the mattress protector. It's the only thing that I've gotten for kids this pay period. Specifically for kids. Like, it makes it sound like I don't get things for my kids. My kids are taken care of just fine. Transportation, so far I've spent $10 on a car wash, which you haven't seen yet because that's a cash expense that I just pull cash from. So I guess I probably should have gone over that. I will go through those in just a minute. What debt is the HELOC payment, which is $403.44. Spending, in my spending, we spent well, $60.80. So that's my spending. I'm not even going to add up the sinking funds at this point. Actually, I don't even think I'm going to adjust that. I'm just going to say that my cell phone bill is paid, which it is, on the credit card, and I will add that additional $3.90. We'll just go in the buffer. So far for bills, I have spent $196.07 plus $748 plus $1069 plus $495. So $709.24 in bills. I will add up sinking funds. Sometimes learning to do this is just kind of a pain. So $600 in that sinking fund, $75 for car registration, $50 for Christmas, $50 for LP, and $50 for car repairs. And then $10.94 in the emergency fund, which isn't necessarily the same as a sinking fund, but it's savings, and to me it's all going in the same category. So I know that I'm over budget in household because I budgeted $100 in two different household categories, and I have spent, no, I'm under budget. I'm under budget so far in household. Obviously, I don't budget for extra eating out, so that's unbudgeted, so I'm over in that. I didn't budget any for medical, but again, that comes from flex, so I am over budget in that, but it just, it is what it is. Over budget in that because I don't budget for, well, I mean, I budgeted for $30 of miscellaneous. We're at $57.34, so I'm over in that. I didn't budget any kid-specific expenses, and I spent $112.01. So far, I've spent $0 in my miscellaneous, $0 for work meals, which I had budgeted at $50. $10 in car wash, which I had budgeted for $20. The debt payment is right on. That's the only thing I had budgeted for debt. That's right on budget. All those are so far right on budget. So that's kind of where we're at so far in the midst of this 2-week pay period. So it's always interesting to come and see. We are very much known for spending more money when we get paid and getting what we need, and then not spending as much money the next week because we're just used to the 2-week pay periods. So spending, I put these in because someone suggested using these so that I wasn't writing it all and keeping it track in there. So I just put these, the trackers for the cash envelopes back in. I don't like them. I don't want them in with my envelopes, but I'm trying to be open-minded and see if keeping track of it here makes more sense than putting it all in my expense tracker. So I had $40 in beauty. I took $20 out to cover that beauty purchase, or I'm going to take $20 out. Actually, I need to take it out right now and put it, in that back to bank. I've got it written down. I just haven't gotten to the bank to do that yet. So that's my plan. Household didn't get cash stuff this week because I bought it online. So eating out, I had 60 in here. I spent 28, but I took 29 out because that was just how I was able to make change. So there's 31 in there. The extra dollar went, I actually had 11 left from reselling, so I put the extra $1 that didn't go for Casey's to the reselling that went on the bed. So it all went in and got put on the card. So I have 31 left in that. Drinks, I had put 50 in here this pay period, but I also had some left over from last pay period still in here, and we went and kind of bulk bought some things. So I don't even remember what we had in here and how much we spent, but I'm down to, so I just put balance. I'm down to $10 in that envelope. Car wash, so I put 20 in here when we got paid. I washed my Suburban the day we got paid, so that's out. I don't keep track of his stuff. Kids, I put $20 in on payday, and I still have $20. Family fun, I put $20 in. We spent $15.55 last night on ice cream, so there should be $4.45 in here. I haven't actually counted it. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got some new ice cream coupons, 25, 35, and 45. Yeah, so there is $4.45 in there. I don't like keeping change in here. It makes it heavy and bulky. Sometimes I regret that because it is nice to have change occasionally. I might keep it in there until payday, and if it's still in there and we haven't used it, then it goes into a piggy bank, which will just get deposited in the bank. Each of my kids, they had $4 in their envelopes, and they used 2 of them last weekend. So there's $2 in each of their envelopes. And this is my back to bank envelope, which I need to put back in here, or just my bank envelope. Some things go to and from. So I have some cash. I have 20, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Because I told you that I budgeted $60 for my son's day with his friends, and they insisted that I did not need to send any money with him. So I put 25 of that on the bed, so I have $35 here. And what I'm going to do, because one of the areas that I am most focused on right now is back to school, because I do have to have this envelope ready to go by August 5th when it's tax-free weekend, if not sooner, to do the shopping for my kids. So I'm going to put it in there. There's already 20 in there, so I'm adding this 35 to it, leaving me with 20, 40, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I have 55 in the school envelope, and my goal for that is, I think I said 100 that I was going to aim for. We don't historically spend a lot of money on school supplies, so I will have all 3 kids going to school in some capacity this year, but I don't, so payday was plus 20. I'm going to start this tracker here, so that's plus 20, and then today is the 23rd. And I'm gonna put, that's just cash left, and that leaves 55 in this category. Back to school. So I will just stick that in there so that now I know where I am at on this saving adventure there. Well, yeah, okay. And so that's all that I'm doing right now. I wanted to allocate that cash, and so I thought that I would do it here while I'm on video. So that's where I'm at for our first week of the pay period, and I will be back next week setting up, closing out and setting up the budget for June 30th. It is our magic month, so it is our extra paycheck. So I will be back to do all of this next week. Thanks, guys, and have a great day. If watching me go on this financial journey is interesting to you, please subscribe. Thanks. Bye.